All right, today, guys, we are going to talk about Greek gods and goddesses, plus the mythology that is behind them. And the reason why we're going to do this is because of the Lightning Thief is so heavy in that. It'll make the reading of this a little easier to understand. It kind of enhances the book. Not to say the book is bad if you don't know this. It's really good. But it kind of makes things a little bit better for you. So that's why we're going to do this. And plus, it also gives you a really good insight into the Greek culture and what they believed. Now, this is mythology, and I'll keep stressing, mythology means that it did not happen. It was not real, so don't think any of this stuff is real. Like I said before, you go to Mount Olympus, which they believed where the gods and goddesses hung out. It is a real place, but where there was no place for gods or goddesses to hang out, or gods hanging out at the top of Mount Olympus. You go to Mount Olympus, all you see is a top of a mountain. The view might be cool, but then you see a top of a mountain. That's it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. All right. Let me move out of the way here because I'm kind of in the way of what you say. Move down here. Now, what they believed is in the beginning, which is a good place to start, is there was a dark nothingness called chaos. And gradually, out of that darkness, that chaos, Mother Earth emerged and formed the world. And the Greeks believed that the Mother Earth had a name. Her name was Gaia. And from the Earth, she produced a son. Move myself out of the way again. Up here. And his name was Oranos. And he was the god of the sky. Now, what he did is he made rainfall from the sky to the earth, and plants and animals grew from that. And later, some human-shaped giants named Titans, they came to be and rule over Earth. And we talked about the Titans before. Right, Al? Al's with me. Now, Ornos, which was the kind of the ruler of everything, treated these Titans very badly. Did not like them, was mean to them. And this made Gaia, Mother Earth, very, very angry. Mother Earth, I don't want to call her he. Mother Earth encouraged the Titans, the leader of the Titans, who was Kronos, sound familiar, to rebel against Ornos. And the Titans kind of rebelled against Ornos and defeated him, the sky, basically. Now, the reason why I have a picture of a planet here is because Ornos is actually where we got the name for the planet Uranus. I hear the giggling. Stop. I get it. But Uranus is actually from Ornos, which is the Greek word for the sky. Now, once they defeated Ornos, 3 drops of his blood fell to the earth and formed something called the Furies. May sound familiar? I don't know. These were the spirits of revenge. And most of the time they worked for Hades, but we'll talk about that a little later. One other drop, a 4th drop, fell into the sea, creating sea foam. And from that sea foam was the goddess Aphrodite. She was born from that sea foam. Strange story. Yes, I know. Sea foam person, whatever. We'll talk about Aphrodite later. Now, this slide talks about what we had already talked about with Kronos and what happened with him, his wife Rhea. They married. He heard a prophecy about one of his children overthrowing him, and we know the whole story about him puking his children out, and the whole story of Zeus and his siblings, Hades, Poseidon, Demeter, Hera, and Hestia. So we'll just go ahead and skip this because we've already talked about it. All right, now, once I move myself out of the way again, let's go over here. Now, what we will do is we're going to start talking about Greek mythology a little bit more, and what we're going to do is you're going to have this. You may not be able to see it very well. Maybe a little bit better. I don't know. Okay. You're going to have that, and you're going to start filling that out. And there are 3 headings, which you might be able to see. Okay. And the 3 headings, the name of the god or goddess goes right here. Okay, let me make this bigger so that you guys can see it a little bit better. The name of the god and goddess goes here. Sphere of control is what they are the god or goddess of, which goes here. And then their symbol or animal, or sometimes both, will go here. And you'll be filling those out as we go along. So let's get started. I know you would love to see me zoomed in like this in my big, beautiful face. But let's put it down here. All right. Now, a first fierce battle took place between Zeus and the Titans and the Olympians, his siblings. And one of the things that Zeus did was Cyclops. He freed them. And Cyclops is the plural for Cyclops. Okay? Not Cyclopses or Cyclops. It's Cyclops is the singular and the plural is Cyclops. Anyway, these Cyclops made lightning bolts for Zeus that he could throw at the Titans. They also made a trident, which is a three-pronged spear, which we'll talk about a little bit, for Poseidon, and a helmet that made its wearer invisible for Hades, also known as the Helm of Darkness. Now, this terrible war was pretty violent between the Olympians and the Titans, and the Zeus and the Titan and the Olympians were victorious over the Titans. And Zeus then took Kronos and cut him into itty-bitty bite-sized pieces, which we talked about before, and banished him along with some other Titans to a place called Tartarus, which we will talk about Tartarus a little bit later. One of those Titans was, which we talked about a little bit the other day, was forced to hold up the sky for the rest of eternity as his punishment. Now, if you go to New York City, which is in this picture here, this is the Rockefeller Center. And outside the building, there's a statue, which is in the picture, of Atlas holding up the world. So a lot of times if you see statues of a big muscular guy holding up a big, like the globe, like the earth, that is a representation of the Titan Atlas from Greek mythology. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Now, here is the first god that we're going to talk about. This is Zeus, or Jupiter, as he was known by the Romans. There are two names there. One is Greek, one is Roman. We are going to concentrate mostly on the Greek name. Okay, but I will list both of them. You can write both of them down if you'd like. It's up to you. You just have to know which one is Greek, which one's Roman. Now, after the battle of the Titans, Zeus became the ruler of the sky and the king of all gods. So, what you'll write down, of course, the name would be Zeus, right here, right there. And then the next thing would be sphere of influence. Well, that means he's the ruler of the sky and king of all gods. So you would write that. And then his symbols, his animal/symbol, his animal is an eagle. And his symbol is a lightning bolt. So those are the things, the examples of things that you would write down. Okay? Understood? Good. All right. Next one is Hera, also known as Juno to the Romans. Now, Hera was the goddess of motherhood and marriage, and she was the wife of Zeus. And her symbol is the peacock, which, if I move myself once again, you can see what the peacock. There it is, right there. Okay. All right. Now, here's the thing about Hera. Zeus was not a very faithful husband. Actually, Hera was the wife of Zeus. Now, I know you're going to ask the questions about, wait a second, wasn't he her sister? And we'll discuss that a little bit later. But she was technically the wife of Zeus, and he was not faithful at all. And you could probably imagine, if you're the goddess of marriage, that probably it's embarrassing for your husband to not be honoring that marriage. So there was a lot of conflict between Hera and Juno. And we'll talk, or excuse me, between Hera and Zeus, not between herself, between Hera and Zeus. Don't want to get into that out. Not all. Okay. And then the last one we're going to talk about today is Poseidon, or Neptune to the Romans. He was the god of the sea and earthquakes. Now, his symbol was a trident, which we talked about, which is this thing right here. And his animal was a horse. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why a horse if he's the god of the sea? Well, I don't know, but Greek legend told how he created horses out of the waves of the sea. Okay, so we'll continue with this tomorrow. We'll get through some more of them, and eventually we'll get that whole page filled out. All right, see you then, guys.